Hey, man, you know, when I look back at the beginning of it, or it's simply asking journalists to show a little bit of integrity, just a little bit of integrity, and seeing how a lot of people were silenced internally and externally. A lot of people were insulted. A lot of shit was said that wasn't taken back. And then the trolls came in, and then the beehive was poked. And I still reflect back at the beginning because this kind of marks me when a specific organization just doesn't want to, apologize for the shit that they do. When just, a bit of etiquette is asked. No agenda shoving, because that's a thing Polygon loves to do. When you're being asked to just show a bit of backbone and understand where you do wrong, and instead you go fuck you people are worse than ISIS, gamers are dead. Like that tells me a lot about this industry. I mean, you all remember Xbox One, right? Oh, tough shit. You guys don't have online connection? Too bad. Here's an Xbox 360. And when the stocks drop, they got the message and they rolled back. They took it somewhat in stride and they actually went back on it because obviously this was a very bad decision. When the Mass Effect 3 thing happened, BioWare had the balls to just churn out an extended ending because they were rushed by EA. Don't fucking lie to yourself. They were fucking rushed by EA, big corporate EA rushing them. But at least BioWare took the time and gave the extra content, the extra closure, instead of letting big boss EA say, okay, well, this is it. Have a good day. Good night. Because they knew in the future, doing that kind of stuff does affect the credibility of your company and your brand. And frankly, BioWare gets kudos for that and understanding that they don't want to lose fans. They don't want to lose all those fans because of Big Boss not giving them a long enough deadline. So you see many of these moves performed by these big companies, and some of them will take it back. Some of them will own up to what they did, and others will not. And when it came to the game journalists, they went a step beyond. And it's the good old journalistic trick to change the narrative, bring in an X factor to it and start changing the entire narrative of what was going on. Now it's no longer about their integrity. Now it's like a sex war. No joke. The war of sex has started again. This is basically it, right? You bring out the misogyny card, you bring out the sexist card. There we go, out of nowhere. And where's their integrity? Oh, fuck that. They can get away scot free. That just tells me a lot about this fucking industry. And I am just broadening it to the games industry because I've had multiple, you know, long experience as a game tester and seeing the shit that goes inside companies, the decisions being taken, and people not honing up. All of this kind of has me pondering what the fuck is going on, just in general, where people just won't hone up to their mistakes. And that's all fine and dandy, right? I mean, hell, let's look at another spectrum, Jonathan Blow saying comments like, "Oh ho ho! If you support GamerGate, you'd better watch out for your career in the game industry." When I heard that, and there was another developer. I think it's either a developer or journalist who spoke in the same way, and that kind of has me just. So now it's up to threatening people because they want you to show a bit more etiquette, you know? Like, and I was really surprised when I heard that from Jonathan Blow because we have an indie game developer who, got out of the AAA or maybe never even stepped into the AAA, and just saying such threats. Because that is a threat, It's like, oh, you'd better watch out if you support this. That's a threat, straight up. And it just has me pondering, what the fuck? I mean, I'm still really puzzled on that whole threat thing. Wondering, okay, little Joe Blow, Jonathan Blow, right here, made his game, indie game. It's like it got really popular. Kudos. And now you think you can issue statements like that and not get consequences? That's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you. You're like, well, that's pulling a Phil Fish. Ooh, bit of similarity there. But Phil Fish went overboard. This guy, kind of brought out some snarky comments, but still, who the fuck are you to say such a thing? It's the same thing I was saying about Phil Fish. I don't know from which I don't know what kind of information this person has looked into, yet I wouldn't be the one threatening other people from an indie game point of view or indie game creator point of view. And just seeing how far it got, all this because the game's journalists just don't want to show a bit more etiquette. Okay, not all of them. Some of them have spoken out, you know? But all of this just because, big top dogs over there, they don't want to move. They don't want to admit they were wrong. They don't want to admit that, okay, we should show a bit more etiquette. I mean, hell, other studios have done it, other industries have done it, but we could do it as well. Not even firing people, just having a policy change. Simple little shit. Simple. But instead, fuck you all. That's, once it's maybe a bit more than fuck you all, because, ISIS, blah, blah, blah. But still, that just has me pondering what the fuck is up with this industry. I'm kind of wondering if the money makers kind of seeped in and started not started taking over, because we know there's when it comes to triple A's, a lot of it has to do with the money makers, and they're the ones doing some of the most baffling decisions. Dead Space 3 microtransaction. Capcom on this DLC. 20 characters. No, 10. 10 or 8, whatever. So, I don't know. It's just a couple of things to ponder upon. And it's kind of has me wondering, because basically I kind of got into this whole thing because I really love the games, video games in general, and I love the industry. But now I'm just giving a glance when it comes to the AAA, the big medias, and all that, and I'm just going, maybe I don't want to work for you guys because of all the shit I've seen in testing and all the shit I've seen when it comes to news and other companies as well. Like, I'm just straight up rethinking, okay, well, maybe they're not even fucking worth working for. Same goes for journalism. If I wanted to enter the blog sphere when it comes to that, because, let's not kid ourselves. There are not many of them when it comes to games journalists are not, straight up journalists. They're practically bloggers. And you can check that out when you check certain game reviews. Again, Yakuza 4, the boss is really cheap and does moves my character doesn't do. Do you even play video games? Bloggers, man. So it just has me rethinking this whole thing of the game industry could be some place I'd want to get a job at. And now I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. When it comes to the indie games, yo, full support. Full 200% support. Because they're doing what the AAAs don't. Or most of the AAA don't. I shouldn't generalize, I'm sorry for that. But there are many AAAs rinsing and repeating the same sauce. Ass-Creed, COD. You know? So, just wanted to churn that out because it's still silly. It's really silly when you just think that showing a bit of etiquette could have just wiped out all of this. And looking at all the little mind games and media tricks being played. All that, not just to remain a scumbag. Because, straight up, right now, scumbag. The insults that were thrown, the narrative changed, scumbag techniques. You're already in the scumbag zone. And this also has me thinking, basing it off the game testing experience as well, also has me thinking, what's the point of remaining on the honest path when you have people like that, scumbags like that, who are just gonna get away with such things? And this could be a bit more of a broad kind of discussion, because hell, I could link it up to certain people on YouTube that went into full scumbaggery and are still getting a mass amount of views and clicks and ads revenue. All that for being scumbags in general. Either starting flame wars, directly starting flame wars, or just churning out videos but having, part 99 only being 2 seconds. Sorry, my recording device wasn't working, but I still uploaded. Seriously, it has me wondering, what, would turning heel? Is turning heel the best course of action now? It just has me thinking. I'm not gonna turn heel. It's just a thing to ponder upon. I mean, fuck. Look at games journalists. They went out, had all those little insults, and yeah, they're always scot free. They've started a sex war, and they're like, all right, we're always scot free. Thank God, we pulled a politician trick, and it worked. Because it's the same thing politicians do when they are being charged upon. Oh wait, something else is happening in the side. You should check that out. Same thing we had to deal with when it comes to Occupy, when it came to the student protest in Montreal. Same fucking thing. And people seem to forget these scumbag tricks. So this just has me pondering, wow, being a scumbag nowadays just seems to be like, just let's roll with it, right? Because when your audience is asking for you to have a bit more etiquette, ethics in your work, you can just go, fuck you! Heel mode on! Degeneration X, biatch! And then get away with it. I don't know, it's just frustrating. Anyway, let's go see where it goes. In the meantime, great parodies. I mean, some of these journalists say the darnest things. Later, guys.